He was a blind man, his sight stolen by a fire explosion in his home when he was a child. Tragically, the blaze claimed his younger sister, left him without his eyes, and scarred his face with permanent burns that twisted his features. He often spoke of how ugly he felt, convinced his appearance repelled others, yet his heart overflowed with kindness, a warmth that touched everyone around him. He'd lived abroad for years, studying and sharpening his other senses to navigate life with uncanny precision. In his family's home, where I worked alongside his parents, he moved with confidence, as if the layout was etched into his soul. My duties leaned toward masculine chores, fixing things, tending the garden, and handling heavy lifting, though I didn't live there. His name was Kofi. One afternoon, as I brought him a drink after mowing the lawn, he suggested we dive into a friendly debate about politics and social issues, something we'd started doing whenever I had a break. That day, he argued passionately about education reform, guessing I'd lean conservative based on my steady vibe. He got my general stance right, but missed the nuances. I'm more progressive on healthcare, but skeptical of big government. He thought I'd be rigid on tradition, but I'm open to change if it makes sense. These debates became our ritual, spirited but warm, his sharp mind and gentle humor shining through despite his self-consciousness about his scars. One day, he asked what it would take for a man like him to win my heart. "I can't see you, but your energy lights up my world," he said, his voice soft but earnest. I told him I was already with someone, the only reason I couldn't consider it. On some days, when his parents were out, we'd be alone in the house. He kept reaching out, his affection so deep he offered to support me financially just to be closer. I asked, "Are you looking for love, or is this about something physical?" He answered, "I'm a man who's fallen for you, longing to share a life with the one who makes me feel whole." While abroad, he dated a woman named Claire. They kept it secret because she feared her family's disapproval, not because of his blindness or race, but because of his disfigurement, which she admitted made her uneasy. He said she belittled him, knowing he relied on her in a foreign place, and it trapped him in her cruelty. When he returned to Ghana, they parted ways, and he hadn't been intimate since. That was 6 years ago. One afternoon, his innocence captivated me. His gentle voice, the way his laughter danced, his quiet strength despite his pain. I let him hold my hand, then draw me closer, his touch hesitant but reverent. Tears glistened in his unseeing eyes as he whispered his gratitude. I said, "I'm here, let's take this step." At first, I acted out of compassion, stirred by his good heart. I'd lied about having a partner. After that first time, we couldn't pull away. Whenever we were alone, I gave in, not out of love, but because his touch awakened something in me. He, though, fell hard, his devotion growing intense, promising a future I wasn't ready to dream of while I was still carving my own path. When I didn't call him after leaving for the day, he'd get upset. If I took a day off with his parents' blessing, he'd be so hurt he'd choke up, saying, "You're my anchor. Without your voice, I'm adrift." His love was fierce, unlike anything I'd known, yet my heart stayed silent. He offered me money, which I refused, and spoke of starting over in Canada, but I couldn't feel what he did. When I left the job, I didn't tell him. I just slipped away, hoping he'd heal in my absence. Barely 4 days later, his mother, Adwoa, called. "Kofi loves you," she said. "If you marry him, we'll stand by you both, always." I was floored. He'd told his parents about us. I told her, "I'm not ready to settle down. I need to finish my studies, build my life." She said, "We'll help with anything after the wedding." I said I'd think it over, but soon changed my number. They never reached me again. 5 years later, Kofi's father, Mensa, walked into the shop where I worked. He knew me at once. "I won't point fingers," he said, "but after you left, Kofi's health crumbled. He was gone within a year." I unraveled for months, haunted by his memory. His kind heart had loved so deeply, and I hadn't seen it fully. Even if I had, what could I have done to carry his burdens for him?